Hello, dear chess lovers and chess experts. Grandmaster Sergei Shipov is inviting you back to Sofia, where the candidates match is nearing its end. Honestly speaking, it can end at any moment. Topalov is leading 3.5 to 2.5 points, and his win will make the last game unnecessary. But it's too early to speak of that. Now the battle will be that of nerves, and no one knows who will break first. I won't risk predicting the opening for the 7th game. We're waiting for the French defense, keeping the Grunfeld defense in mind, and aren't counting out any of the other openings. The French defense. Topalov is following the path of the 5th game. And here's the surprise. Veselin is the first to step off the well-known path. Black is ready to waste tempos to walk the queen, just to avoid pawn weaknesses. And temporary catch. White developed the whole king's side. 3 pieces are already in battle. Black only has the queen ahead, and the king is still in the center, and still he has a big reserve of solidity. A somewhat new move in an old opening. Its real popularity reached a new level after the game Kasparov vs. Gelfand, which happened in Astana in 2001. An immediate answer. Gana knows all about it. Veselin played safe. Here, the classic played differently. Knight e4. It's beneficial to trade a couple of knights. Black is close to finishing developing. There's only the difficulty of the bishop c8, but that's not a simple problem to solve. By defending the knight, white freed up the queen for battle. Also, the square c2 is prepared for the bishop. A well-aimed shot at the pawn b7. The pawn is defended. Black is planning to move the rooks into the center and start the game with the pieces, while looking for simplifications. That's a novelty. The light-squared bishop is called to b3 to protect the pawn b2 from the enemy, but he is well pushed away by the black pawn. But white has a tempo, and he is trying to push away the mentioned enemy of the pawn b2. There's the terrible threat with a blow, knight takes e6. A good defense. The trade of the dark squared bishops, of course, would be good for black. The ambitions are taking over here. Veselin is entering the battle. Gana has to start winning back. That's why we should take a look at the bold move a4, and with the later capture on b2. And Kamsky accepted the challenge. This is the most ambitious answer. Kamsky took a step toward the pan of boiling water. The strongest move. After the move of the knight from f6, the next target will become the pawn h7. The pawn is moving away from the attack, hitting the legs out from under the proud knight with the attack. White is provoking the weakening of the cover of the black king. An important moment is approaching. Bravo, Gana! Found the right path. No good is the visually dependable g6 here. That's the difference between moves f5 and g6. A key moment. Black needs to keep the courage and attack the pawn a2 to get real counterattack. Oh, what a good job. If nothing else, Kamsky doesn't need to borrow any courage. We see that white's initiative only looks so great. Black has good defense in all variations, and the extra pawn is kept. Now there is only one move left, a3. On the clock we see surprising symmetry. Both opponents have an hour and 3 minutes left. Beautiful. I'm applauding to the actors standing. Black's last move takes care of 2 things. The pawn is coming closer to the last line, and the weak bishop d7 gets an opportunity to enter on a4 with a tempo. The current position evaluation? White is battling for equality. Topalov is feeling danger of his position and decides to destroy the pawn a3 no matter what, before it enters on a2. A logical decision. The most natural move. A surprising turn. Intrigue is reborn. Gana is so surprised that he's taken a lot of time to think. Satan is near. Topalov has 40 minutes, Kamsky has 15 minutes remaining. Oh well, Kamsky made a serious mistake here and lost the advantage. He shouldn't have thought for so long and given freedom to his doubts. Here, instead, he should have coldly moved the bishop home, bishop c8. An elementary argument which wasn't possible to not see. White is getting rid of the pawn a3 and guaranteeing himself a happy retirement. Topalov felt the opponent's doubt and turned to aggression. He's looking for an opportunity to finish the match today, but objectively, the position is fruitless. In all variations, black achieves total trades inequality. Relying on surprise, in St. Knot, Kamsky will have to figure out new variations. The best argument, the pawn a3, is suddenly revived, and the pin of the bishop c2 isn't dangerous. Veselin slapped on a very bad move. His excitement is fatally dangerous for himself. Here, the better, stronger move would have been queen e3. Black again got a serious advantage. The pawn is moving ahead, but its path is blocked by its own queen. Exactly, two passed pawns are stronger than one. The fans are either too cold or too hot. The evaluation of the position changes with every move. Here, to black's win, led the move b4 and this variation. And later, black plays with an extra exchange. But rook e b8. And again Kamsky makes a series of mistakes in one position. Here, finding a huge resource bishop d3 with black's advantage was impossible for Gata. It's impossible to hold on to the white pawn. Black is suffering huge losses. The match is close to the finish. It's all over. St. Knot is over, but it's impossible to play without a rook. Gata put his hands over his face. That's a real human tragedy, collapse of all hope. It's sad to say goodbye to the game and to the match. And here black resigns. A dramatic ending to the most interesting match. Today, during Game 7, Kamsky played beautifully and deserved to win. I think his nerves were his weak point today. Starting with move 25, he started doubting himself and thinking too much. Ended up in St. Knot and didn't use the great chances. So Veselin won the match with a score of 4.5 to 2.5 points and became the official contender for the World Championship. He is awaited by the current world champion Vishy Anand. I'm Grandmaster Sergei Shipov. I thank you for your attention to my work. Be happy, be healthy, and we'll see you again soon.